Don't overthink anything, bro. We're living in the moment. We put in too much fucking work, bro. Have fun today. Let's go. Bring it up, baby. Let's go. Daddy on me. Daddy on me. 1, 2, 3, go.
Yo, what is good? What is good? What is good? How is everybody doing? Happy Friday to everybody. The weekend is upon us. Shout out to everybody who, got tomorrow and Sunday off. I know the nation is a working nation, so shout out to y'all. Y'all done made it through another week. But look, man, we got ourselves some breaking news. I am very, very, very happy and excited that this one is getting done. And I want to give my thoughts and my opinions on it, man, because it's a very, very interesting thing. We maybe some people expected to see DC get his extension before Max, but Max is the first guy out of the three that could possibly have gotten an extension between Max, DC, and Renfro. Max is locked and loaded until 2027, you guys. Shout out to Max. He definitely deserves this, man. Coming from a 4th round pick to seeing this man make just under, he could potentially make just under $100 million, man. It's very, very good. And I'm happy for the man. It's very, very nice to see our homegrown talent do big things like this. And real quick, I got to get a roll call on everybody in here. Shout out to my guy Renato, already live, already in here. My guy Joy Boy, we got Swin, we got Blue King, The World Is Yours, Raider Cortez, we got Jesse, Rock Nasty, Sean, SJ. Shout out to everybody in here, man. But look, this is big. We now have a player locked and loaded until 2027. Couldn't be more excited. I'm very happy that it was Mad Max. I'm just happy, man. I'm just happy all around. Look, for those of you guys, I'm really happy because the man, it got done on his anniversary, his sobriety anniversary day. That's very, very dope to me that the Raiders, I know they probably didn't mean to do it, but it landed on that day. It just makes this day more and more special. In my opinion, I love it. I love it. Shout out to Mad Max. Shout out to McDaniel. Shout out to Ziegler. Getting one of our homegrown guys done in the books for many years to come. He essentially has 5 more years minimum with the Raiders. Who knows? He could get extended again, right? Again. But I'm very happy, man. Shout out to Max. So, first and foremost, Max signed himself a 4-year, $95 million extension, which means that we basically have him for 5 years because he was not a free agent yet. He was 1 year before being a free agent. So we were able to get him on an extension. He's basically here for another 5 years. For Mad Max, the good thing is that if you are a guy that likes to play out with averages, technically Mad Max's average salary is less than $20 million. But if you go into the cap hit, you can understand that Maxx Crosby's cap hit, it stays the same this year. I don't believe that we converted his salary into a signing bonus. So Maxx Crosby's salary stays the same this year. I don't believe we saved any money on Max. But to go along with that, his cap hit every single year after that is between $23 to $24 million a year. Now, as we know, TJ Watt kind of reset the market for edge rushers. So, in my opinion, this isn't too high of a deal. Personally, I didn't think it would be this. I thought that it would be more like 20 to 21. Personally, what's the difference between 21 and 24? Honestly, it's not that big of a deal. So personally, I give Ziegler an A+. I love the fact that it's not a 2-year, 3-year thing. It shows that they are invested into Maxx Crosby. It shows that they want Maxx Crosby to be here for the length of his career. And shout out to Maxx Crosby. He said, before I even played a down for the Raiders, I wanted to be a Raider for life. I got it tatted on me. Shout out to Max, man. That's a real Raider right there. He truly does embody everything that comes with being a Raider. So shout out to Maxx Crosby. Appreciate you, my man. You definitely deserve every single penny that's on that contract, bro. And $53 million guaranteed. And shout out to my guy, Raid the Tape. Shout out to my guy, Raid the Tape, because the way that he put it in the group chat, he mentioned it like this. Look, obviously, I don't see Maxx Crosby falling off any kind of cliff anytime soon, but what Ray the Tape mentioned to us in the group chat is the fact that $53 million guaranteed. It does sound pretty big, but at the same time, you can get that guaranteed money done and dusted between 2 seasons. You can give him that money between 2 seasons, and after that, his money is not guaranteed. So if you ever felt like you wanted to trade someone, that would be very, very trade attractive and all that kind of stuff. So I really do feel like Ziegler and McDaniels and every single person on the staff that was a part of making this deal done really did a damn good job on this deal. And I'm very, very happy that we got it done. But moving forward a little bit, I do want to talk about the fact that Hunter Renfro is another guy that we may possibly be able to see in the works next. Coming off a Pro Bowl season, his best season of his career, best season of his life. He said he's never had 1,000-yard season, even back in high school. He's never had 1,000 yards. So I would probably look into more. Into more of a possible Hunter Renfro extension. I really would like to see us get one of those things done. Hunter Renfro is a baller, man. I would love to see him get a deal beginning to fire up and get that going. I would definitely love to see him get a $3 to $4 million extension. I mean, a 3 to 4 year extension as well, to just like Maxx. And hopefully in the coming days we can see, or in the coming weeks, maybe months, we can see an extension on our quarterback Derek Carr. Let's see. What would you grade Maxx Crosby's contract? I give it A plus, man. You did it in a very good fashion. You gave him good guaranteed money, but at the same time, you didn't give him back-breaking guaranteed money that if you ever wanted to move on to him, you would be put in a bad cap situation. You gave Maxx Crosby a nice chunk of change, but at the same time, the guaranteed money isn't back-breaking. So if you ever did want to move on in your third or fourth year of Maxx Crosby for whatever reason, you didn't give him so much guaranteed money that you're kind of crippled to the fact that you have to keep him. So I think this was an A plus signing. I love it, man. Shout out to Maxx Crosby. $98.98 million. It's dope, man. It is truly, truly dope. But yeah, that's what I would grade Maxx Crosby. I would definitely give Maxx Crosby an A plus on that move. Let's see. My guy Sean says, Andy, if we extend Renfro, do we free up cap space? It all depends on what Ziegler and Mark Davis decide to do. Ziegler is the guy that's dealing with all the contracts and personnel and that kind of stuff and building the roster. So if okay, let me put it like this. Essentially, when someone gets extended, you can now convert their salary into a signing bonus or a roster bonus. Therefore, you can save that money that was on their salary for that year, and you could just convert it. Therefore, it's not on the books. So today, if we would have felt like it, and it's still yet to be known all the true details of Maxx Crosby's contract, we possibly could have saved money with extending Maxx Crosby, but I don't think we did. But essentially today, Maxx Crosby had a $4 million cap hit against the roster today. With this extension, Mark Davis, Ziegler, McDaniels could have essentially put that cap hit for his salary and converted it into a signing bonus. Therefore, we would have been able to save $4 million along with the extension of Maxx Crosby. So if you want to extend Hunter Renfro, his cap hit is only $2.6 million. So if you want, you can extend Hunter Renfro and save that money, that $2.6 million, as long as you convert it into a signing bonus and then you give him his money up front. He gets paid and he's good to go. Now that's how that kind of stuff works. That's how the kind of inner workings of these deals within the NFL goes. That's why you see a lot of players now kind of demand guaranteed money because we're like a guy like Derek Carr, where his money was so front loaded that now if we were to decide to move on from him, there'd be no money attached, no strings attached. He can just go, and the Raiders wouldn't have to pay him anything. So that's why a lot of players you see nowadays, they kind of want to cover their tracks, and any contract they sign, they want to make sure that there's some guaranteed money involved. So regardless, they could get paid if they are to get released, that kind of stuff. Joy Boy says A+ on all the moves so far. I would agree. Besides Alec Ingold, I know some of you guys may not be with me on that. Some of you guys may just say, well, it's just a fullback. Personally, it's not just a fullback, man. I said this the other day. Alec Ingold is more than just a football player. He's a captain. He's a leader on this team. I was very bummed to see that the Raiders did not put that restricted tender on Alec Ingold. Definitely would have thought that he would have stayed, but it does sound like McDaniels wants his guy from New England to come on over. So who knows, man? Who knows? I mean, if they feel like that's the better move, I guess we'll have to bite the bullet as a nation and move forward and move on. But personally, I would have given every single move an A plus. Besides the fact that we did not put that restricted free agent tender on Alec Ingold. But I want to backtrack a little bit, and I want to go to before Maxx Crosby signed his extension. And I'm not sure how many of you guys got to catch the press conference earlier this morning, but what I will say, after hearing Mick Lombardi, our new offensive coordinator, personally, I am going to admit I was premature in judging our new offensive coordinator. I was very, very much premature. I was pretty harsh on him. I said that, why would you bring in this guy? He has no resume in terms of offensive coordinator. And I was really harsh, and I was very premature on the way that I judged him. But after hearing him speak today, I completely understand why the Raiders decided to bring him in. I completely understand why McDaniels decided to bring in Mick Lombardi to be a guy on this team to lead men. If you hear him talk, he sounds like a guy that understands how to talk to people. He understands how to lead a person. He understands He understands how to actually touch within a person more than just a player. So I really understand why we ended up bringing Mick Lombardi onto the staff. Very, very excited to see what he can do. But I feel like the man of the hour in terms of the press conferences has to be Patrick Graham. And something that was very, very shocking to me about Patrick Graham, and Maxx Crosby kind of brought it up in his presser today after he signed his extension, was Maxx Crosby had got a lot of looks by Miami before the draft happened, before he was drafted by the Raiders. And when he was getting talked by Miami, Patrick Graham was the defensive lines coach with the Miami Dolphins. So him and Patrick Graham had a connection before Max even entered the league. And he always said that Maxx Crosby was saying that he was kind of weird. He didn't understand. He didn't know if it was sarcasm what Patrick Graham was displaying to him in those interviews. He felt like Patrick Graham was a little over happy and over excited to speak with Maxx Crosby. But he said that after talking to him again, now that Patrick Graham has gotten the job, he understands that that's actually just the way he is. So I'm very excited to see that. But another thing to talk about with Patrick Graham, he said the first thing he did when he got this job was actually call up Maxx Crosby and tell him, congratulations, I knew it, I always wanted to coach you. It came around, it worked out how not necessarily how he wanted it, but it worked out in the end. So that's freaking awesome. Another thing, I mean, we mentioned this when Patrick Graham got hired. He's a guy that's very, very multiple. And at the end of the day, Maxx Crosby did say, and shout out to Gerald McCoy, Maxx Crosby did say that at the beginning when we hired Patrick Graham, he did have a couple worries. He did have a couple, thoughts, and reflections on how he was going to fit into this new scheme. And shout out to Gerald McCoy. Gerald McCoy kind of took Maxx Crosby under his wing and let him know. He said, look, I've been under 6 different systems in my career, 6 different coaches, 6 different schemes. But each time I just was myself. I played to my best ability, and look where I am now. And that's what, guess what? That's the exact mentality Maxx Crosby needs to go into this. So shout out to Max, shout out to Patrick Graham. I was very, very excited to see our offensive coordinator, our defensive coordinator speak today. We also heard a little bit about our new special teams coach, McMahon, or I think is how you say his name. And honestly, I felt like he was taking shots at the Denver Broncos. I felt like he was taking shots at the Denver Broncos. And the reason why I say that is because the first question was asked. He said, obviously, Todd, not everything on special teams is about kickers and punters, but it definitely helps to have a solidified kicker and punter. And then he goes, yes, it's very, very true. He said, I've never had that. The only time I've had that was when I was in Indianapolis with the Colts. He was just recently with the Broncos, kind of taking shots there. But at the same time, I'm excited to know that he felt like with this team right now, he has what he had with Indianapolis. And the reason why I'm excited, and you guys may think I'm crazy just because he's a special teams coach, but if you go and look at his numbers, they aren't the best with the Broncos, but they're phenomenal with the Indianapolis Colts. He had two top 10 special teams groups when he was with the Indianapolis Colts. With the Broncos, he had bottom of the league workings. So I'm excited to see that with his resume, it kind of matches up to where he's at now, to where he feels that he has a good punter, he has a good kicker, and it shows that. I mean, it shows that at the end of the day, that when he was doing good with Indianapolis, he feels like he has the same thing here. So I'm excited to see that as well. But that kind of sums up what happened in the morning between the press conferences, and then the news of Maxx Crosby came that he got his deal, and then the other news around the league about Deshaun Watson. Personally, it's Deshaun Watson. I mean, I would love it, but at the same time, it's like, look, man, we were just talking about potentially trading away our quarterback to Indianapolis. I feel like Deshaun Watson is an upgrade to Derek Carr, but at the end of the day, you wouldn't be able to trade to the Texans straight up for Deshaun Watson. I feel like it would have to be incorporated with three teams, most likely Indianapolis, Texans, and the Raiders. But yeah, do you think that Max asked the Raiders to wait to sign the extension, that it was his 2-year anniversary of his sobriety? I believe he was asked that question in the presser, Nax 76, and I believe he said no. It just kind of fell that way. So I think he kind of said that it was like it was never planned, and it was, it was kind of just how the world worked out for him. You know, we dropped Ingo to make room for another running back. I mean, cool. The truth says this cunt. Uh, Look, the truth. Wasted is my guy, bro. You're not about to talk about that man, especially when he's not here to defend himself. You feel me? So we're not gonna do that. The truth, but appreciate your comment, I guess, my man. Appreciate you. Carr's the answer for us. I don't disagree. I feel like Carr has yet to have a roster built around him that's had pieces to where he can win. I mean that's what we need to do. McDaniels loves a three-headed monster in the backfield. I understand that. I feel like Alec Ingold could have been part of that, though. I mean, I feel like Alec Ingold, Josh Jacobs, and Kenyon Drake could have been the three, But I don't know. Valerie says, Waste is my guy. Facts. Waste is my guy, man. Wasted is my guy. Offer Carr in one of our fifths to get Watson. Swin Raider, it would be much more to get Deshaun Watson than DC and a fifth-round pick. Much more, man. So yeah, much more. But something I do want to talk about, there was more news around the league today regarding another Chicago Bear, and he was released. There's actually two Chicago Bears got released today. One of them I really feel like the Raiders should look after into picking up, because he fills a need on our defense and he fits the scheme perfectly, and that's defensive tackle / nose guard Eddie Goldman. Eddie Goldman, man, absolutely is a must guy to look at for the Raiders. I mean, you look at his resume, he is a true run stopper. He is a true nose guard. He's nasty. He can go head up on the lineman. I love that kind of stuff. We need that. We don't have that on this team. So shout out to Chicago for doing a stupid ass move in releasing Eddie Goldman. But I really, really, really want the Raiders to go look his way and try and bring in Eddie Goldman. I really, really, really want him. Him or Tim Settle. Him or Tim Settle. You guys have heard me say Tim Settle quite a bit, but free agency is extremely close now, you guys. Extremely, extremely close. I'd go sign Eddie Goldman today. I love the fact that he's just a free agent and we don't have to give up anything for him. He's a former second round pick. He was a top 40 pick. I think he was picked 39th overall to Chicago, man. So Eddie Goldman, I would love to see that man in the silver and black, as well as Tim Settle. Now, the difference is Tim Settle will probably get a little bit less money. and Tim Settle's younger. As far as Eddie Goldman, he'll probably get a little bit more money, and he's older. They're both pretty young though. Tim Settle's 24 years old. Eddie Goldman is still on the right side of 30. He's 28, so you're still getting fairly young guys. But we'll see. We'll see with what we do. We'll see what we do come. The 16th is the official day, but the 14th is when players can agree to contracts and verbally agree and negotiate to deals with teams. But nothing is on the dotted line until the 16th. So nothing's on the dotted line till then. Are you gonna do a stream on March 16th? March 16th is the official day. I probably will, but it won't be until like after I get off work, like 6:37 o'clock West Coast time. So if you're on the East Coast, I believe that's 10. And then Central, that's like 9 p.m. So I will probably go live, but I do work every day, so it would probably be around that time. The day that I am free would be this Monday. So when the tampering period begins, I will be in I will be at home, and I'll be able to do that when that goes down. Did I hear that Maxx Crosby got extended today? I did. I did. I think that the whole world heard that Maxx Crosby got extended today, man. Shout out to Maxx Crosby. He definitely deserves that. 110%. 110%. Maxx Crosby, man. I mean, he embodies what it is to be a Raider. So I'm excited for that. Dope. He deserves it. 5 years. 5 years. We got him until 2027, man. 2027. 2027. Goldman can fill a need, which can help us when picking up in the first round. Exactly. If you go out and you get Goldman, um you can kind of go into the draft knowing that you don't have to get a nose. You can kind of go out there and get a pass rusher. We ain't upset about Crosby. Absolutely not. Crosby's the man. Crosby's the man with a plan. Shout out to Mad Max Crosby. Max Crosby's the GOAT, bro. Nobody in the nation is mad. I know a couple people may have been thinking, did we overpay for him? I don't think we overpaid, with it kind of with the fact that um TJ Watt reset the market in a way. I don't think that we overpaid Max. I don't think that we paid Max. Why are people saying that Fallon's not coming back? Fallon, in my opinion, his injury. I don't think that there's really going to be a big market for him. I feel like the only team that may take a shot on him would probably be Indianapolis. I think that Indianapolis may take a shot on Fallon. I don't think that Indianapolis will be back, or I don't think that Fallon would be back with the Raiders. So yeah, who knows? Who knows? I don't think that he'll be back with the Raiders though. Personally, that's my opinion. We do need help on the defensive line, but I just think that there's not enough ties for him to come back. And at the end of the day, coming off that injury, I'm not sure if you'd want to take that risk for him. I don't think it's a crazy risk because I don't think he'd demand a lot of money. But at the end of the day, we'll see. So, yeah, I mean, I would like Fallon to come back, but I wouldn't make it a top priority. If any of our defensive linemen are coming back, I would make it a priority for Quentin Jefferson. Quentin Jefferson, in my opinion, should be and probably will be the only guy to make it back on this roster in terms of the defensive line group. So here we got the Maxx Crosby. Raiders agreed to 4 year, $95 million with $53 million guaranteed. And that's kind of what I was getting at, you guys. I don't think that $53 million. I actually think that $53 million is a damn good deal. I think that $53 million guaranteed. You can get rid of $53 million in 2 seasons. You can get rid of that money in 2 seasons. So you can always make that money back. You can always make it a very tradable contract once that money is done and paid. So I'm all for it. My guy Silver and Stock says maybe we draft White in the first round. I'm betting on linebacker. I would love for us to get Devin Lloyd. I feel like that would be the only linebacker that we would have a chance with, just because I feel like Philly might do some Philly type things and go out and get Nakobe Dean. But you know, we met with Devin Lloyd. I didn't hear anything about the Raiders meeting with N'Kobe Dean in the combine. So we'll see. We'll see. Fallon tweeted, "It's just business." Shaking my head. I mean he's not lying. It is just business. It is just business. I mean, there's nothing to be mad about that for. It's just business. What's wrong with that? I mean, did you guys want Fallon back that bad? I mean, look, Fallon is a good player. He showed a lot of things this year. But at the end of the day, coming off that injury after a player being inactive for 2 years, it's kind of all lining up for him to not be back, you know? So we'll see. As long as we have enough cap space to make some moves, I'm good with Max's deal. Max's deal doesn't kick in until next season, bro. His deal does not go up against the cap this year. His deal does not go up against the cap this year. So remember that, you guys. Remember that. His deal does not go up against the cap this year. Shout out to my guy, Mad Maxx Crosby, bro. Shout out to the man, Mad Maxx Crosby, dog. He deserves it. He definitely deserves it. Let's see. Andy, which DT would you like to sign in free agency? We just talked about that. I would definitely like to see Tim Settle or Eddie Goldman. He was just released from the Chicago Bears today. I would love to see him be on this roster. He's a perfect plug and play guy. He fits the scheme perfectly. He's a nose guard. We need a nose guard. So I mean, why not bring him in? He's the perfect fit. Or go out and get Tim Settle, a little bit younger, and definitely a good player. So it all depends. I would just really like either Tim Settle or Eddie Goldman to happen. I want either one of those to happen. I want either one of those to happen. So we pulled it up right here. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. We got Yannick Ngakwe right here. I saw somebody in the chat saying that he's potentially a guy that could be restructured. Yannick Ngakwe does have that restructure clause on his contract, so we do have to look at that. He says, I think we go after Hassan Reddick. That'd be a lot of money we spending on pass rushers, but that'd be a scary trio. Evaluate these things, though. Oh, hold on. We're not doing that. Yeah, it's interesting to see how we evaluate those or how they evaluate those things. Andy, is there any sideline to sideline linebackers that I'm eyeing? I don't really see any sideline to sideline linebackers in free agency. I mean, Leighton Vander Esch, I don't think is sideline to sideline. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Shout out to my guy Pacian. He says, "Did you see Drake's tweet about walking normally now?" I did not, but that's good. That's a good sign that he's already walking perfectly fine. And at the same time, what month are we in? August. So we got five. He has another 5 months to get right, bro. So I'm actually happy. I'm actually happy that he's doing just fine. Um, Shout out to my guy EJ. What's good with you, my man? Should the Raiders double dip at DT? I believe we should. Something that we need to look at with the fact that the Raiders are going to be a team that plays a lot of nickel, but at the same time that is going to be a team that when is in their base will most likely be a team that's in a 3-4 scheme, right? In my opinion, I'm not sure about you guys, but my favorite thing that I want the Raiders to do in the early nearby future is for us to go out and sign Eddie Goldman, preferably Monday, or earlier, and or Tim Settle. And the reason why I say that is because if you go out and get one of those guys, it allows you to fill up that need at nose tackle, right? So once you fill up that need at nose tackle, what I want us to do going forward is when you're in the draft and pick 22, you're on the clock, I want the Raiders to trade down. And the reason why I want the Raiders to trade down is so that we can gain another second or another third round pick. And with your pick that you have in the first round, I want us to go draft Perion Winfrey. So I really want us to get Perion Winfrey. The reason why is because he's a damn good player in pass rushing. So we'll see. We actually don't need a DN. We actually need 2 DTs. You need 3 DTs. We let Thomas and Jefferson walk as of today. Yeah, I mean, we knew that they weren't going to come back immediately. We knew they weren't going to come back immediately. And shout out to my guy, Watts Raider, man. Shout out to my man. Do you think Jackson has a high probability to go to the Chargers because they still have $34 million after cutting? Did they cut Brian Bulaga? Did they really cut Brian Bulaga? Hold on. Did they really cut Brian Bulaga? Wait, I gotta see that. I gotta see that. I gotta see that. I gotta see that. Where did you see that they cut Brian Bulaga at? Where'd you see that at? What? I wouldn't. I don't see. I didn't see that they cut Brian Bulaga. I think we should re-sign Thomas. What? Why? Why? Bulaga isn't he a right tackle? He is. He is. Have you changed your stance on trading back in the first, especially if it looks like Davis may fall to the Chargers at 17? Personally, I wouldn't be worried about Davis falling to the Chargers at 17. And the reason why is because I don't think that he would make it to the Chargers pick at 17. I think with the performance that he put up at the combine, I would expect him to go a little bit earlier than that. Now, I could be wrong. But if he does begin to slide into the range of the Chargers, I would definitely make a strong push to try and trade up and leap the Chargers in the draft and go back and get a nose tackle in Jordan Davis. That's what I think. Let's see. Was good, Andy? Was good. Farrell. Shout out to my guy Farrell, moderator in the chat. We also had EJ in here. I like Winfrey, but Wyatt is better. He can play the run and pass. I definitely like Wyatt. Definitely a baller. Definitely a baller. I wouldn't mind trading back and getting either one of them. But personally, I feel like your best bang for your buck going into this draft is trading back and, in fact, getting one of those defensive tackles. My guy Watt says we need a three tech DT, or we need 3 DTs. Is that what you're saying? We need 3 DTs? Draft 2 and sign 1 in free agency. We could do that. I think that what we might see happen would be probably get one of the top guys in free agency in terms of defense tackles. I feel like the Raiders need a guy like Tim Settle or need a guy like Eddie Goldman, or you can go the veteran route and you can go out and get a Linval Joseph or a Brandon Williams from the Baltimore Ravens. You could go that route. But at the same time, I feel like we need 2 good run stoppers that we can rely on. Our run defense got pretty poor when Jonathan Hankins stepped out with an injury. So we'll see. I don't know if that we'll get. I don't know that we'll get 3 in free agency or 2 in free agency. I definitely feel like at the start of the season, regardless, we need to finish. We need to finish with at least 4 on the roster minimum. Minimum. Bulaga hasn't been cut, but they will save $10 million with 2 in dead cap, so it's expected before Wednesday. Okay, that's good to know. I mean, if they get rid of Bulaga, that would put them up in a range of around $40 million. Why are they cutting Bulaga? Is it because Rashawn Slater worked out so well, or why are they cutting him? Did he just not perform to their standards, or what's the deal with that? What do you think about Tariq Cohen? I wouldn't be mad at it, but personally, he's more like a change of pace back. He's like a scat back. He's not really going to get you those yards in between the tackles. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind bringing him in. It'd have to be for like $1 million. The man was hurt. The man was hurt. Are we re-signing Quentin Jefferson? What do you think? I think that if we are going to sign any defensive tackle that was on this roster last year, it will and should be Quentin Jefferson. Do we need 3? No, we need 3 right now. Who is our DT room right now? I don't think we have 1 defensive tackle. We have Andrew Billings and Kendall Vickers. Those are the 2 guys that are on the roster right now. That's it. We need someone who could stop Kelsey and Hill. Well, trying to address it, man. Trying to address it. Raiders football talk. What do you think about today's pressers? So I kind of touched up on that already. I'm gonna run down the list. I think Patrick Graham went first, so let's talk about Patrick Graham. With Patrick Graham going first, I was definitely very excited to see how eager he was to work with Maxx Crosby, especially how we had so many worries about Maxx Crosby's future, I guess, and how he would fit in today's scheme. So we'll see. We'll see. But it definitely was a reassuring thing, the fact that he was very excited and eager to work with Maxx Crosby. He mentioned that him and Maxx Crosby got in touch the second he got the job here. Him and Maxx Crosby knew each other before Maxx Crosby even got drafted to the Raiders. Maxx Crosby mentioned that he had a lot of interviews with Miami, and at the time, Patrick Graham was a coach in Miami. So there's that, and I was very happy to see that. And what stood out to me was how he mentioned, "Give me good players, and we'll be good." Hey, man, we could do that. We can do that, because to me it sounded like, I don't care about the scheme fit. I don't care if he's a 4-3. I don't care if he's a 3-4. Just give me a good football player, and I'll be just fine. So I like to see that from our defensive coordinator. It's very, very exciting. It's refreshing. It's a breath of fresh air to know that we have a talent in our staff room that can just be like, hey, just give me that guy. I'm gonna do good with that guy. Give me him. We'll go make some plays. I like that shit right there, man. And then I believe it was Mike McDaniels. He was up next. McDaniels spoke. I was very impressed with how he spoke, and I can definitely understand and see why McDaniels brought him onto this job. One of his opening statements was, "I am a Raider." He said that he grew up being a Raider. He grew up. There wasn't one team in his mind that he would have said that he would actually coach for besides a Raiders team. Obviously, the opportunity came up with New England, so he took the New England job. But I was very, very happy to see that he mentioned that he wants to be here, and I love that stuff, man. And then going to McMahon was the fact that with McMahon, he mentioned the fact that he brought himself back to when he was with Indianapolis, and when he was with the Colts actually had a damn good special teams set up over there when he was there. But when he left Indianapolis, it was pretty downhill. And today he was asked about the X's and O's, about the special teams, and he said that he was very excited that he actually has a kicker and a punter as well as a long snapper. As a group here already set. He said that he hasn't had that since he was in Indianapolis. So a little shot toward, a little jab towards Denver, but good. Fuck Denver. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy all around about the pressers earlier on in the morning. So yeah. Let's see. Bulaga stayed hurt with the Chargers. He plays right tackle, no left tackle. Okay, so is Rashawn Slater their left tackle, or is he their right tackle? I forgot. Is Rashawn Slater playing right tackle or left tackle? Watson is available and should be traded soon. Well, let him be traded soon. I don't care. Shout out to my guy Chuck. He says, Andy, how much do you think Uchenna Nwosu would cost, and would you be interested in bringing him in? Chuck, I'm not sure if this is your first time in the chat, man. I definitely don't recognize the name, but I would love Uchenna Nwosu. I think that he would cost anywhere from $10 million to $12 million. So, in my opinion, would I be interested in bringing him in? Absolutely. Absolutely. This man, Uchenna Nwosu, is a guy that can play the run. He can play the pass. He can stand up. He can drop into coverage every now and again when you need him to. He's not a guy that's going to absolutely just get exposed. So, me personally, I would love Uchenna Nwosu on this team. I'm not sure if the Chargers are going to prioritize bringing him back, but I would love for that to happen. I would love for that to happen. I would love for that to happen. In my opinion, he's a younger version with more upside than a guy like Cal Van Noy. Cal Van Noy, we kind of know where he's at in his career. He's at the end of his career. So I would love to see him be brought in. Maybe 10 to 12 will make the Raiders look a different way, but I would, me personally, I would definitely try to make the move. It's pretty interesting. It's interesting that we were just talking about that. He says, "Yo, I'm a Chargers fan, by the way, but I enjoy listening to my rivals' point of view on my Chargers. I fuck with you, Docs. All good people. Appreciate you, Hunted. And let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. How do you feel about Uchenna and Wosu, your guys' linebacker? Do you think that the Chargers should prioritize bringing him back? Because personally, we're all Raider fans in here, and personally, I feel like Uchenna and Wosu would be a phenomenal pickup for the Raiders. And I know he's coming off of a rival team. But shout out to Wise Tyson. He said it. He said it the best. He said, "Fuck the Chargers," respectfully. Okay, there you go. Um, you think it'll be expensive to bring in Campbell and Goldman? I don't think it'd be too expensive. I think that Goldman is a guy that should probably make a decent amount of money. I think that with Calais Campbell being probably on the back end of his career now, maybe only having one, maybe two seasons left, um, I wouldn't be mad at bringing them both in. I think that you bring in a good player with both of them. Calais Campbell can play that three tech when we are in our nickel. Eddie Goldman can play that nose when we are in our base. And I mean, even when we're in our base, they can both play together. So I would love to see that happen. What do I think it would cost? I think that it would cost anywhere from I think it would cost anywhere from 12 to $15 million for the both of them. For the both of them. If Davis is off the board, then we should get the best wide receiver on the board. Personally, I don't kind of want to just get the best receiver on the board because I feel like if Drake London is the best receiver on the board, then I don't feel like you should grab him. I like Drake London, but I don't like Drake London at 22. I would much rather the Raiders try and move back and grab another pick in the second or third round and then draft the best player available, not just the best receiver available. We cannot let the Chargers draft Jordan Davis. I agree. I agree. I think that that would absolutely terrorize every single offense in the AFC West. Having a plug and play guy like Jordan Davis from day one, and really him getting a lot of double teams in the middle of the field, which just free up a lot of space for Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. So I agree. But personally, I would not worry about that just too much due to the fact that I don't think that Jordan Davis will actually get to the Chargers after that performance that he displayed in the combine. So I wouldn't worry about that. Why would you trade down out of 22? Because there's a lot of value in it, Watts. Like I just said, if the best player on the board, if the best receiver on the board is Drake London, I don't think Drake London is worthy of the 22nd overall pick. But if you trade back to pick 30, pick 31, pick 32, and the best player available is Devontae Wyatt or Perion Winfrey or I don't know, N'Kobe Dean. If those guys are all available at that point, there's a lot more value in getting one of those three guys, as well as adding a second or a third round pick onto your draft capital board, than it is just to go out and just get one player, than to go out and get two. That's why. I think that's why. There's a lot to be desired at 22 if the best player available is fucking, I don't know, like I just feel like there's a lot more value in this draft rounds 1 through 4, that I would try and gain as many picks rounds 1 through 4 as possible. As possible. So personally I would like that. Who's drafting London? I want to go defense, homie. Then I don't know why we're disagreeing. What's your predicted trade down? What would we get for that? Personally, I feel like maybe a trade down scenario with the Cincinnati Bengals is a big possibility, due to the fact that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to want probably the top offensive lineman on the board. And I feel like there will still be a handful of good offensive linemen by the 22nd overall pick. So I feel like could possibly um, get this trade scenario with the Bengals where we can move back with them and gain a third round pick off their hands or gain a second round pick. So there's that possibility. I would love to trade back with the Bengals, maybe even Detroit, because Detroit has, I believe, pick 34, 32, and 97. So you really got to do your research when we're talking about trade backs. But I mean, I would love to trade back. I mean, I know that we hate Kansas City and they are our rivals, but at the end of the day, if Kansas City is willing to give up the 30th overall pick as well as their second round pick, we hate them. But at the same time, we have to be smart. We have to be smart. Okay. So yeah, that's what I think. He says, "Yo, why is Andy not monetized? I'm monetized, bro. Oh, see, you just put a super in the chat. If we get Lloyd at 22, I donate $100. Hey, bro, you don't gotta donate to me ever, brother. I just appreciate you pulling up, being in the chat, talking that Raider football shit with me. So appreciate you for being in here. But if you want to do it, feel free. But hey, man, just show some love in the chat. Hit that sub button if you ain't already hit it, man. That's all I ask from you, my man. Andy, who's your number one corner? If we're talking about free agency, it's between Carlton Davis and J.C. Jackson. J.C. Jackson, in my opinion, he's a phenomenal talent. He's a true number one. He'll get the ball back for your offense. He'll cause turnovers. There's not enough to really talk about with JC Jackson. He's a baller. In terms of Carlton Davis, he won't get you all the picks in the world like JC Jackson will, but he will get you sticky man coverage. He's a press man guy. He can really play this new scheme that what we're gonna have with Patrick Graham. I really do like those. So we'll see. Those are my number one and number two corners if you're talking about free agency. In terms of the draft, I really feel like Derek Stingley Jr. and Sauce are kind of the clear cut number one, number twos. After that, I feel like Roger McCreary is a guy that for potentially, you know, I think that he's potentially kind of getting underrated. I really do like Roger McCreary. I like Alem. I like Andrew Booth Jr., but personally, I feel like Andrew Booth Jr. would have to go to a system like Minnesota or Indianapolis to where they really, really have to, where you really have to be in a zone predominant scheme because he's a great player, but he has to be in his own scheme for him to work out in the NFL, in my opinion. Andy, are you going to the draft? That's the plan. That's the plan, Silver D. Pause. That's the plan. If Dean is there at 22 and Lloyd isn't, you draft Dean, you don't trade down. Look, bro, in my opinion, I like Nakobe Dean, but I feel like Devin Lloyd is the clear-cut number one linebacker in the draft. So the only linebacker that I would take at 22 would be Devin Lloyd. So that's just my personal opinion, Watts. Shout to my guy Hunnits. He says Chenna's not coming back for sure, but learned a lot from being behind Ingram and Bosa. Needs to work on pass rush more, but couldn't get all the opportunities because of our ass run defense. Okay, that's a good way to look at it. That's a very good way to look at it. I've seen Lloyd dropping on a lot of mocks, smoke screen. I would love for Lloyd to drop. I would love for Lloyd to drop right in our lap, bro, because Devin Lloyd's a freaking baller. He is the number one linebacker in my opinion. In my opinion, he's a number one. Farrell says, I feel like we need 2 free agency wide receivers, then draft in the later rounds. I think that it should be 1. Oh, it's tough, man. I agree with you. I agree with you, Farrell. I agree. Shane says, do you think Wyatt is a reach at 22? I definitely feel like Wyatt boosted his stock tremendously at the draft, at the combine. Do I think it's a reach at 22? Yes. But if he's your guy, then go ahead and grab him. At the end of the day, this is the thing with mock drafts. I can have a guy that I love. Cash Lord Raider can have a guy that he loves. Farrell can have a guy that he loves. At the end of the day, the Raiders aren't asking me for who I like. If Ziegler, McDaniels, Patrick Graham, if those guys like one particular player at 22 and they truly feel like that's a guy that's going to make the biggest impact for our team, then go ahead and grab him. At the end of the day, that's the thing with these mock drafts and that kind of stuff. I'm drafting off of my likeness and on what I want for the team, but at the same time, I don't know what they got going on in Vegas inside of their draft room. So it's more speculation and biased opinions. But at the end of the day, if you're asking me, there's a certain select group that I would choose at 22. Do I think that White is worth the overall the 22nd overall pick? No, I don't. I think that he's a guy that can go anywhere between um pick 30 and 40. I feel like that's kind of his range, but I feel like with the defensive tackle class being pretty thin in my opinion, I feel like he'll go higher than what most people think. That's what I think. Hey Andy, have you heard anything about Quinn Jefferson? I have not. I have not. Shout out to my guy Raider Gabe, man. Also has a show of himself. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the support that you show this channel, man. I always appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you out there in Vegas, man. Look forward to meeting you out there, bro. Um, how do you feel about Dean? I feel like his hype has been dying out. I feel like part of his hype dying out is due to his own fault. He chose not to participate in the combine, and personally, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of that. I think Nakobe Dean will have a better career than Lloyd, bigger upside. That's all. Okay. I mean, that's one way to look at it. That's one way to look at it. Andy, do you think Corey Littleton's career is over? I don't. I feel like for Corey Littleton, he was kind of put in a bad position with the Raiders, much like a guy like Lamarcus Joyner. Lamarcus Joyner was a guy that you know, coming to the Raiders was one of the best free safeties in the league when he first joined, and he was very, very, very good. And then the Raiders kind of fucked him up by trying to change his position. And Corey Littleton was kind of in the same boat. He had all pro votes. He was a Pro Bowler, had a career high 169 tackles, and he had a phenomenal years with the Rams. And then he came here, and then he was asked to do something that he's really not comfortable with doing. I understand he signed the contract and he knew what he was getting into, but I don't think his career's over. I think he'll get a chance somewhere else. Maybe back with the Rams. That would be interesting. That'd be definitely interesting. At least rumored to sign with the Bucks. Okay, adding weight is not an issue. I agree. I'm telling you now, if we don't get J.C. Jackson or James Bradbury, we are not getting Jordan Davis at 17. We getting Booth or McDuffie. Okay. I don't think that Booth would work in your guys' scheme because you guys do run quite a bit of man. But I mean, hey, that'll be interesting. I feel like you guys would have a pretty short defensive back group, or at least pretty short corners, because um, I don't think that Asante Samuel Jr. is that tall. And then if you get McDuffie, you get another 6 foot player. So we'll see. Let's see. Nakobe Dean is that solid field general who has the heart and soul of the defense. I'm not saying that Nakobe Dean's a bad player. Not at all. We should have moved Lamarcus Joyner to free safety. I agree. Thoughts on Jamo? He is the number one material type. Jamo's a good football player. He definitely is, but I'm not too sure about getting him at 22. I'm not too sure if he'll be there at 22. I think maybe the Cleveland Browns take a shot at him. I do think that the Browns would move on from Jarvis Landry in the coming future, in the nearby future. Do you know the projected cap on Darius Williams? He's a guy that it's kind of hard to judge Darius Williams because of things. And the reason why Darius Williams is hard to judge is because the fact that he has Jalen Ramsey opposite side of him, so he's not guarding the number one corner, and he also had a hell of a front seven in front of him doing a lot of work. So I don't want to discredit Darius Williams in any way, shape, or form, but me personally, it is hard to judge his play. Now, when we're asking about what his possible annual contract and value would be probably for me anywhere from $10 to $12 million within that range. That's what I think. If you're asking me about what his price tag will be, but yeah, there's that. I'm tired of seeing QBs escape up the middle on us. Me too, man. So you need to go draft a guy that's going to push the pocket. He's going to push the guys into the center, or he's going to push the center into the quarterback's lap. That's what we need. So we'll see. Shout out to my guy Doc Holiday. He says needs or best player available. How do you think this staff will draft? Personally, I feel like this staff will draft best player available for the majority of the draft. And the reason why I say that is because in McDaniel's most recent meeting and presser type thing that he had, it kind of sounded that way. It kind of sounded like he was hinting towards that. So I feel like that's where he'll end up going. But I think there will be a team that goes best player available in the draft. But honestly, a lot of that relies on how many needs we fill in free agency. So we can't just be going out and getting best player available. We can't just be going out and getting three safeties because they're the best guys on the board. But I mean, we have to be smart. I think that he wants to be stupid with the picks. I think that he knows what he's doing. So we'll see. We'll see. Interior pass rush is a must, most definitely Ancient Red. I'm just spitballing here, but if Cleveland makes a trade package involving Landry and draft picks for Carr, do you take it? No, I don't. Landry, in my opinion, doesn't really have much trade value. I feel like he's a guy that'll just get cut. I think that if Amari Cooper is only being shopped around for a fourth round pick, I think that I think that Jarvis Landry just gets cut. Raider Alex, shout out to Raider Alex, man. He says, imagine Winfrey at 22, Travis Jones at 54, she's defensive tackle position is set for years. You're not lying. I think that Travis Jones will go before 53, though. I think so. After hearing our new defensive coordinator speak, his ideal defensive tackle sounds like DeMarvin Leal. The thing is, with how he spoke today, actually I don't agree with that. Because to me, what he said was, listen, man, get a man that can he just said, get a man that can win one-on-one and can demand double teams. So to me, that actually sounds like a Devontae Wyatt or a Jordan Davis or um um fucking Travis Jones. It sounds like a nose tackle to me, but you know, I I I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I honestly could be wrong. The long arms and base, etc. Yeah, Andy, do you believe that Ruggs was Mark Davis' pick? What? No. Um, where? No at all. Not at all. Randy Savage says, you need to watch film on Cohen. Dude is fast. It's ridiculous. They didn't know how to use him. Shaking my head. Well, look, I mean, this is a team that's gonna get or that's gonna need a receiving back that can take these screens to the house. So if they don't feel like Kenyon Drake is that guy, I mean, don't be surprised if we go out and we get Tariq Cohen. I wouldn't be surprised, or I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it. I just wouldn't want it for a ridiculous price. You feel me? Yeah, nah. Let's see. Leal has freakish long arms and strength. I'm not mad at Leal. I'm not. I feel like he's a guy that definitely probably deserves to have a little bit more hype going into this. I think so. Is Farrell a free agent? I feel like this staff has a place for him. He sets the edge, and that's important in New England. He's not a free agent. He's under contract until next year. So we'll see more of Cleveland Farrell for another year, unless for some odd reason he gets traded before the season starts. But we'll see another year of Cleveland Farrell. I don't think that the Raiders will pick up his fifth-year option. We do have until May to make that decision. So we have some time. We have some time. Andy, how many hats do you own? Like a little bit more than 20 of them. Trying to get some more, man. So if y'all sell hats in here, hit me up. Hit me up, man. Farrell's gonna get to 10 career sacks finally. Maybe that'll be a lot of sacks for Cleveland Farrell. I don't think that Cleveland Farrell's a 10 sack guy. I think that Cleveland Farrell at best could be a 5 to 8, but with a lot of run stops. That's what I feel like he'll. That's what I feel like um, would be Cleveland Farrell's career. Andy, I really enjoy your channel and appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you guys and all the support you guys show on the channel. Look, man, for those of you guys who are new, there is a couple new faces in here. For those of you guys who are new, please hit that subscribe button. We are extremely close from 4,000 subscribers, man. I believe we're under 40 subscribers away from 4K. So with so much news happening within the Raider Nation, expect a lot of content out of me. Probably 1 to 2 videos, a video and a live a day. So expect that. And if you want to be caught up on a lot of your Raiders news and get my thoughts and my opinions on what we do in the near future, hit that subscribe button and join the family, man. Join the freaking family. I think we can use Farrell with this staff. I agree, Watts. I agree. I think that Cleveland Farrell in this system would actually fit very, very well as a 3-4 defense end. You know, that's what I feel like. A 3-4 defensive end is more like a in a 3-4. The defensive end is more like a 5 tech defensive tackle. That's what it is. So we'll see. It's deep at wide receiver in the draft. Extremely, extremely. There's a lot of depth, man. There's a lot of depth. Just appreciate you, Dark. Appreciate you, Dark Atheist. Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Let's see. My man says, "How does Farrell look as a DT?" I mean, if you really look at it, man, Cleveland Farrell actually has had, in my opinion, his best success at defensive tackle. So we'll see. We'll see. But another thing that I will say is when we had Malcolm Kuntz and Cleveland Farrell lined up on the edge together as rotational pieces, they actually combined to be a very good duo on the edge. And I will say that, and I will give Cleveland Farrell his credit, and I will give Malcolm Kuntz his credit as well. When Cleveland Farrell and Malcolm Kuntz were on the edge, I felt like the pocket collapsed very, very quick, and I felt like it was because of strength. I felt like Malcolm Kuntz put up a lot of strength within those 13, 14 weeks that he was absent. And Cleveland Farrell, his game has always been strength. When I saw Cleveland Farrell and Kuntz, I felt like the pocket collapsed, the pocket was pushed, and ultimately, I believe 2 out of the 2.5 sacks that Malcolm Kuntz did get this year was when he was opposite to opposite to Cleveland Farrell. I mean, so that's another thing to look at, man. That's another thing to look at. I'm not saying that fucking Cleveland Farrell is JJ Watt or anything like that, and he's just gonna bulldoze you. But Cleveland Farrell's he's a different kind of game. He's a different kind of game, and I feel like this kind of scheme fits him a little bit better. That's what I feel. Mechie, wide receiver from Alabama, would be a nice pickup. He would be a fantastic pickup, Farrell. In my opinion, he's one of the best run blockers in this draft. On top of that, he's a great talent on the outside. He's amazing, man. He's amazing. I love it. I love this guy. He was one of my top guys that I felt like the Raiders should look after in the third round. I think right now he'll probably go into the second, just because the fact that guys already been getting the franchise tag like Devontae Adams and Chris Godwin. So not as many guys are on the market. So I felt like that's why it's a little bit different and people are sliding up the board. But shout out to Farrell, he just said it as well. Coming from Alabama, he was with Brian, what was his name? Bill O'Brien. He was with Bill O'Brien. That's an NFL ready offense. That's a pro offense, And with Bill O'Brien being there, I mean, it's very similar to what they kind of had going on in New England. So I'm very excited to see if the Raiders will target him. I don't think that Mechie was a guy that we met with in the draft. I don't think that Mechie was a guy that or I don't think we met with him at the combine because he wasn't there. Or maybe he was there but he didn't participate. I'm truly not too sure. But I know that Mechie was not amongst the list of the guys that we met with when we were at the combine. So yeah. Let's see, McDaniel's offense. Yeah, he pretty similar. Pretty similar. Chart to Vegas. Do you think we sign Phylon back? Double. We got a two-parted question. I'm gonna start with Phylon. I don't think that Phylon comes back simply because of the injury and he has no ties and connections to this team now that Rod Marinelli retired and what's his fucking face? Gus Bradley is with the Colts. So I don't think that he comes back, and that injury definitely is not helping him. Now, when we're talking about DJ Chark, I feel like it's something to definitely definitely look at, because DJ Chark, shouts a graph. He pointed it out that he took a private jet to Vegas. Now I know people are like, oh well, it's hard to understand. Vegas is a tourist attraction. People want to go there for vacation. In my opinion, when you're a free agent, you don't plan your vacation 3 days before the free agency tampering period opens up. That's one. Two, it's not like he was in Nevada. The motherfucker was in Vegas. We're talking about possibly 15 to 20 minutes from where we play. Now, do I think that we potentially could be looking too much into this? Maybe. But at the same time, I definitely do feel like if a motherfucker takes a private jet, them shit's not cheap for one. But it just so happens that there's a little bit too many coincidences going on. And when there's too many coincidences, it no longer seems to feel like a coincidence. You feel what I'm saying? So, do I think Chark will be a Raider? I really hope that he at least comes in for a visit, maybe verbally agrees to a contract. That's what I feel like we should do. So, yeah. OG Fade says, why aren't we cutting people? Well, because we're out here extending Maxx Crosby. And we just cut Littleton yesterday. So, chill, man. Chill, my man. But I definitely feel like two names to look at with Corey Littleton being a post June designated release. We only have one more that we can do that with, and I feel like it may be Nick Kwiatkowski or Carl Nassib. Carl Nassib saves you $8 million if you are to designate him as a post June release. Nick Kwiatkowski saves you $7 million if you designate him as a post June release. But at the same time, I believe Nick Kwiatkowski's dead cap is just 1 million and Carl Nassib's is like 1.7 million. So we'll see. We'll see. I definitely feel like those two guys will definitely be on the chopping block. But we'll see. We'll see. Do you think that Maxx Crosby's extension will motivate Cleve this year? In my personal opinion, Leon Johnson, absolutely. If you are a true competitor and you see a guy that came in at the same time as you, and he's at a higher level, he's at a higher just overall position than where you are at, and you guys come in same position, same year, and you were actually ahead of him in the beginning of everything, I definitely feel like it'll motivate a little bit in terms of play and possibly, contract, but we'll see. Alec Ingold just got cut too. Alec Ingold was never cut from the team. He was simply a free agent that the Raiders decided to not put a restricted tender on him. So he was never cut. He's simply a free agent this year that the Raiders did not place a restricted tender on him. That's all it was. He can still come back. It is not likely, but the door is definitely still open for Alec Ingold. He never got cut, though. He was never released. It was just simply the Raiders did not put a restricted tender on him. That's all it is. That's all it is. Have y'all talked about free agent linebacker Kazir White? Dude's a baller. Let me ask you this, Hunnits. Is he better than Denzel Perryman? Is he better than Denzel Perryman? Shout out to my guy Kane Town, man. He says, whoever isn't subbed, hit that subscribe button and get Andy to 4K. I appreciate you, my guy Kane Tower, and you are most definitely freaking right, man. If you're new, you love that Raider content, subscribe, man. We are super, super close to 4 bands, so please hit that sub button, man. We're dropping content every single day. Every single day. Let's see. He's probably faster. You're right. I stand corrected. Yeah, I mean, I'm not out here trying to correct nobody. I'm just, we dropping knowledge. That's all it is. That's all it is. My boy Cash Lord. Hey, it's a good live when we've went an hour and 10 minutes and Cash Lord ain't said shit about Derek Carr. He says, Kazir White is nice. I would love to get him. I wouldn't mind it. I would not mind it at all. I would not mind it at all. And also another question, Hunnits. Are you mad that Denzel Perryman's a Raider? We cut Nick Witkowski would be better. That would mean our DN room would be Max, Yannick, Klee, Kuntz, and Nass. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Sean Johnson, I agree. He says, hell yeah, what the fuck? He was a converted safety and had 100 tackles this year with 2 picks. Hopefully we re-sign him, but maybe not. God damn. God damn. I'm gonna have to look more into this, bro. I knew he was nice, but I didn't know he was balling like that. Damn, I may have to make a video on bro. My boy Digital Prez, he says, Scale 90. How you doing, my brother? How you doing, my brother? Shout out to Digital Prez, man. If you guys do not know, if you guys watched my channel recently, I do have that intro. This was done by this man right here, Digital Prez. So shout out to the man Digital, man. Shout out to the man Digital. No, it's all good, Andy. I'm here to talk football and figure things out. There you go, Doc. We both doing the same thing then. We don't both doing the same thing then. Who's your ideal backup for Derek Carr? You guys may hate me. You guys may disagree. You guys may agree. I think the ideal backup for Derek Carr is Cam Newton. It's just for me. Does Cam Newton accept the fact that he's a backup now? That's what I feel is the big question. Ideally, I would like Cam Newton to be a backup for the Raiders. The reason why is because I know that he can come in with his experience. He can win games. I know that he is athletic. I know that he would put everything into the team. But he has to know that he is a freaking backup. He can't come in here thinking that he is going to be somewhat of a starter. Now, Cam Newton, he knows the system. He's been in that. That's kind of the reason why I want the Raiders to bring him in as a backup. Outside of backup, I would actually like Jacoby Brissett. I feel like he would fit perfectly. I really like Jacoby Brissett. Jimmy G is our backup. Not happening, but it'd be solid. It'd be very solid. I would love to have Jimmy G as a backup. You know? Yo, Andy, how do we save money if we extend Carr? I don't understand that. Okay, it's pretty simple, Aiden. I'll break it down. So when you have somebody under contract, right? Their base salary, when you extend them, can then be converted into a signing bonus. This only happens when there's an extension, okay? This only happens when there's an extension. So DC, he has, let's just round down. DC has a 9, right? If we are to extend Derek Carr on this new contract, we can then convert Derek Carr's 2022 $19 million salary into a signing bonus. That number now comes off the books. It comes off the books. So you could potentially free up $19 million with Derek Carr by converting that into a signing bonus. But you have a lot of money into his contract for the years later. So you can do it. You definitely can do it. But I can understand why it's a little confusing. Let's see. Drake London would be great on the squad. I don't disagree. I just wouldn't pick up Drake London at fucking pick 22. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Driving the offense downfield wasn't a problem last year, but how does McDaniel's system help our red zone struggles? Not to be like obvious, but McDaniel's had a top 5 red zone offense in this league. And with that being said, outside of the 2 tight ends that they signed, they really don't have any playmakers on that offense. They don't have, Nelson Aguilar had like 400 yards. N'Keal Harry's been ass. Jacoby Myers has had like 800 yards. They don't really have playmakers on that offense outside their 2 tight ends. And that's really where all of their touchdowns went to when they came into the red zone. So I feel like the Raiders have more firepower on offense than the New England Patriots had this last season. We just had very poor coaching. So in my opinion, I feel like the red zone offense won't be an issue for the Raiders this season at all. And to that point, if you go to the opposite side of the ball, if you go to the defense, it's actually pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. Check this out, right? The Raiders had a horrible red zone offense last year. You get McDaniels, a guy who had an amazing red zone offense last year. You have a horrible red zone defense last year. You get Patrick Graham, who had a top 5 red zone defense last year, with not one Pro Bowler on that side of the ball. So, in my opinion, you have now just made yourself much better on offense and much better on defense. Red zone on offense leads to more points. Red zone defense, good red zone defense leads to less points. So I really like what we've been doing, but shout out to McDaniels. Shout out to McDaniels. But yeah, I feel like we have more firepower on offense than the Patriots did, and I feel like our defense is. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know how I would judge the Raiders' defense stacked up against the Giants. Um, they're a little bit more younger than we were, and it's just kind of tough. It's just kind of tough because I feel like Logan Ryan's a good player. Xavier McKinney's pretty average. Jabril Peppers, in my opinion, is better than Jonathan Abram. Um, Leonard Williams is better than any defensive lineman outside of Max. So it's pretty interesting. We have one in Waller. Even Edwards has had a few. Yeah, Edwards is a pretty damn good red zone target, but I feel like that's where Edwards' game is, and I also feel like that's where Edwards' games ends. I feel like Edwards, him being a third round pick, I know that some people said that he could have gone higher if he didn't have injury issues, but personally, I feel like Edwards' best game is his only game. I don't think that he has any game outside of the red zone. Um, it's not a worry for me, but at the same time, it's not something that I feel like we should go into the season with saying that Brian Edwards is our number 1 or number 2 receiver. Brian Edwards needs to come in when we are in the red zone where he can catch those seam balls, those contested seam catches, or he can go spread out wide, catch the one-on-one fade. That's what we can do. But personally, I feel like that's what Brian Edwards' game is, and that's all it is. That's what I feel like it is. We had 2 coordinators calling the same tired ass plays every week. Yeah, our coordinators are trash. Um, you on your shit with those glasses, bro. Love the content. Hashtag Raiders. Appreciate you, Raiders Allegiant, man. Really, really do. I was a little salty about Perryman when he got traded to the Panthers, but the Raiders, but our linebacker group deep with Tranquil, White, and Murray now. How y'all feel about my boy Matt? Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, hundreds. Oh, you're a bitch. Oh, man, you got me. You got me, man. You know what? Just because of that, we're going to take Kazir White from you. We're going to take Kazir White for you. Whoever gets David Ojabo and from Michigan is going to get one of the steals of the draft. My thing with David Ojabo, I feel like he has to go to I feel like his best case scenario, I feel like his best case scenario would be going to the Panthers. Or not the what the fuck? The Packers. I feel like him going to the Packers, maybe even Chicago would be very, very good for him. A place where he can play outside linebacker and rush and occasionally drop back into coverage. Yeah. Yeah, you got me. You got me, Hunnits. You got me. You for sure did. You fucking bitch. You got me, man. Hey, but look though, I'm gonna definitely look into Kazir White, man, because we need somebody to replace Perryman once he's gone. Edwards is my breakout player this coming season. We've been saying that for 3 seasons, fam. He ain't breaking out shit, man, in my opinion. No creativity whatsoever. Facts, John. Our freaking staff was trash. Was good, Andy. What's next for the Raiders? You think bigger things are still to come? Absolutely. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. This man says, F Cole, I want Watson. He's a beast. All love, Andy. There you go, J-Lo. I mean, it just depends on how much you're giving up. You feel me? How much you giving up. Folks forgot Gruden was our coach in 2018. And before that, we were top 15 in the red zone. Yeah. Yeah. Sean says Chicago let go of Eddie Goldman. You think we go for him? Do I think we go for him? I have absolutely no clue. Do I think we should go for him and we need him? I absolutely do. That's how I feel. I think that Eddie Goldman feels a need on that defensive line. He's a plug and play. He can play nose tackle. I definitely feel like we need a guy like Eddie Goldman on his defense. Eddie Goldman, in my opinion, Tim Settle should be the top priority at defensive tackle. We should definitely look into getting Tim Settle or Eddie Goldman. Both of them nose tackles. We should be good. Let's see. Was good, bro. Just got off work. What I missed? Did you touch base on off Darius Phylon's post? What about signing Akeem Hicks? That's a good one right there. Let's talk about that. Shout out to my guy. I'm glad that you just got off work. I hope you don't have to go in tomorrow. I gotta go in tomorrow, but it's only until 5. So we good. We good. We good. He says Akeem Hicks. Akeem Hicks is a scheme fit when we're in our base, and he can play the 3. The thing is with Akeem Hicks, a lot of injury problems, man. A lot of injury problems. And it kind of comes back to the other question about Darius Phylon. Me personally, I don't think we bring Phylon back. He has no ties to this organization now that Gus Bradley's gone. Rod Marinelli's gone. And coming off that injury, I feel like it'll be very, very difficult for the Raiders to bring him back. Maybe the Chargers can bring him back, you know? I felt bad, so I had to let you know about my guys in Wosu and Kazir because they will never be back. Mm, mm, I hate you, man. You know what? I'm starting to not like you, Hunnits. I'm starting to not like you, man. What's good, bro? Hope you have a blessed day. Appreciate you, Moody Raider, and you too, most definitely, man. You too, most definitely. Y'all go check out Farrell, man. He dropped his link in the chat. Go subscribe to my guy Farrell. We also had Watch Raider in here. Go subscribe to my guy, bro. We also have Raider Alex in here. So we got a lot of content creators pulling up tonight. Shout out to everybody in here. I love how everyone thrashes Gruden. Whoa. Thrashes Gruden and Mayock, but they were the ones who built this roster. But they're also the reason that Khalil Mack is with the Chargers. You know? Like, you feel me? Like, they, when we say that they built this roster, right? Look back. What is on this roster? We're looking for a corner number 1. We're looking for a defensive tackle. We're looking for a linebacker. We're looking for a right guard, or we're looking for a left guard. We're looking for a right tackle. We're looking for a receiver. So when you say that they built this roster, what did they build? Like, what did they build? So I understand what you're saying, but what did they build? Because we have a lot of needs. So like, what are we talking about? Shout out to my guy. He says, "What if we get J.C. Jackson and Devontae Adams?" Look, man, I think that ship has sailed with Devontae Adams. I would love to do it though. I would love to do that. I'd love to do that. Give me J.C. Jackson though, for sure, for surely. Like truthfully, I mean, if we're talking about Gruden and Mayock, what did they build? You feel me? Like, okay, you finally hit on one person, because God knows that all of our first round fucking picks under them could be off this roster very soon. Clayton Furrow, fucking bust. Josh Jacobs probably won't get his 5th-year option. Jonathan Abram probably won't get his 5th-year option. Henry Ruggs, Damon Arnett. What have they built? What have they built? So that's what we have to talk about, bro. That's what we have to talk about. Crosby, Renfro, Diablo, Merrick, and Mullen, just to name a few. Those are the only you can name. And we're talking about 3 years of drafting, and you can only name 5 guys. That's it. Those are the only guys you can name. So please, don't act like fucking Gruden and Mayock set this team up for success. Because of them, we have horrible contracts and Corey Littleton that we still owe them money. We have horrible contracts in fucking who else? Nick Kwiatkowski. What's the other dude? Carl Nassib has a bad deal. Like, what did they build, bro? What did they build? We need a corner. We need a linebacker. We need fucking 5 defensive tackles. We have no defensive tackles. We need a left guard. We need a right tackle. We need receivers. So what did they build? Cool. They got some mix and match players. Like, what? Are we serious? Are we serious? Like, look, bro, I won't disrespect them. I won't disrespect them because yes, they got us Nate Hobbs, they got us Trayvon Merrick. I won't disrespect them to the fullest because they still did their job, right? They still did a decent enough job. But we're not gonna act and sit here like they are some fucking great like they are they're the best thing that's happened to the Raiders. This team is worse because of them. They did much more damage to this team than they did fucking help. Like, really? Really? People can't trade for a QB without building a team first. I agree. They built the Las Vegas Chargers. Hey man, Hunnits, you come on, man. Come on. AB, Trent Brown, like, come on, dog. What's Mike Mayock been up to? I have no idea what Mike Mayock's been up to. We have a lot of holes on this team. But this is the thing, and this is why I like to credit Mike Mayock in John Gruden, is because they have found us some cornerstones in Maxx Crosby, who just got an extension. They have found us a great slot receiver in Hunter Renfrow. They do potentially have us a slot corner of the future, as well as a good number two in Trayvon Mullen, and a good potential deep high safety in Merrick. So we have some things to work with because of them, and to that I credit them. I do, because Trayvon Merrick is a guy that they were able to land in the second round when, without a couple injury concerns, he would have went in the first. So I do credit them for what they've done. But personally, we're not going to sit here and act like they've done everything good by the organization, because really they didn't. Gruden being gone is a blessing in disguise. It truly is. Because you know why? If Gruden was here, you know who we would draft with the 22nd pick? With the 22nd pick? Like, we would draft fucking, I don't know, fucking, what's a nice reach that we would do at 22? We would probably go out and get Travis Jones at 22. So, look, I credit them for all the good they've done for this team, but we are not going to sit here and act like what they've done by this organization is absolutely fantastic. Because it's not. It's not. There's way too many holes in this team to credit them, bro. They missed on 5 first-round picks. I mean, look, the fact that you can leave a team and this is able to be said once you leave is truly embarrassing. It's truly embarrassing. When you're able to leave a team and and they missed on 5 first-round picks, it's truly embarrassing. On top of that, you traded away a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in Khalil Mack. Like, what? You draft Alex Leatherwood, and within 4 weeks, you change his position. So look, shout out to them for what they left us. McDaniels and Ziegler will try and clean up their work. But at the end of the day, you guys, look, bro. Okay, Leon Johnson. This motherfucker just hit. This motherfucker just hit the fucking nail right on the head. This motherfucker said, "When you have 10 years, you can always say next year." It's a fact, bro. It's a fact. Look, me personally, I don't remember who commented that, but whoever commented it, I actually wanted Mayock to stay. I wanted to see Mayock get a full year being actually able to evaluate players because I actually do like Mike Mayock. I thought that he was a damn good talent evaluator. He got us Trayvon Mullen. He got us Nate Hobbs. He got us what's his face? Merrick. He got us Maxx Crosby and Hunter Renfrow. I personally feel like the problem and the cancer of the organization was Gruden. I did not think that it was Mayock. But at the same time, what I didn't like about Mayock is that he was a bitch. He let Gruden step in and walk all over him. And I don't want that within the organization either. So for Mayock, I credit him. For Mayock, I actually agree with what we did with Mayock. I wanted Mayock to stay, but I knew that once this shit was over with Gruden, he was done. So okay, it was Raider Nagel. I agree. I agree with Mayock. We may just have to agree to disagree on this because I agree. I like Mayock. I wish he would have stayed. But in terms of Gruden, I disagree. I don't think he did good by this organization. Shout out to Pacian. He says, you don't bring back just serviceable players unless you have to. I agree, Pacian. I agree. That's very, very true. Very, very true. That's very true, Pacian. And I feel like that that kind of falls in between the line of Adarius Phylon. You know? Look, look, another reason, I don't really want to talk about John Gruden too much, but you have Brian Edwards, 6'3". Foster Moreau, 6'4". Darren Waller, 6'6". Alec Ingold. All of these guys are guys that should have been dominant in the. Maybe that's why I'm harsh on him. But personally, I feel like he deserves that harshness because I looked at him more as a play caller than I did as a coach. And maybe that's wrong by what I was looking at him. Maybe I was wrong by doing it that way. But personally, I feel like a lot of the flack that I give him is because of how poor his play calling was. That's what I feel like. Now, do I think that a lot of his play calling was negated by horrible penalties? Yes. But that's just how I feel about that, bro. That's just how I feel about that, bro. Um, let's see. So moving on. Moving on. Brian says, Andy, I was once 18-year-old, now 31. Every single year I've been saying next year is our year. I don't want you younger fans going through that shit. I feel bad for the older cats. And here's the thing, Brian. You actually saw us win something. Or you were somewhat around when the Raiders were still good. I've never seen the Raiders win shit. Ever. Ever. But I follow this team every single week, every single day of my life. And I love this team and I will continue to do that shit until I fucking die. Simple, man. Simple. And there will be a day that confetti under that Super Bowl parade in a stadium will be silver and black. And motherfucker, we will all witness that shit. Okay? Everybody in here, all 160, 70, 80, 90 people, y'all will all witness that shit. We will witness that shit. We will witness that shit, motherfuckers. My guy Aaron says, I wanted Devin White that 1 year, CeeDee Lamb, etc. It's sad that I can draft better. Look, man, look. Y'all done caught me red-handed, man. I wanted Jerry Jeudy above CeeDee Lamb. Okay? Y'all done got me. Let's see. Amen. OG says, facts, I'm the same age as you. Big Time says, 90s baby. Facts, I did. I was 10, 13. They were good, 98 through 02. I'm 18. I don't think the Chargers ever going to win some, I swear. We have the work luck. I won't win the shit from the Raiders. Hey, fuck you. Hey, you're going to see us do more success right now. But Andy, you weren't old enough to know how bad 04 to 13 was. Yeah, I was still a Raider fan, you feel me? Because I was alive, but you're right. I wasn't like dissecting shit how I was, like how I am now in the last 3, 4, 5 years. You're right. When we win the Super Bowl, I'm going crazy, bruh. Oh my God. It's going to be one great day. It's going to be one fucking great day. I can't even imagine that shit, man. You think Derek Carr's gonna get traded for a first round to the Colts next year? I think that the first your fucking profile pic then caught me off guard. The thing is with Derek Carr is that the Colts would have to overcompensate for them not having a first round pick this year. So I feel like the Colts would have to give up a lot more But shout out to my guy King, bro. He got a legendary profile pic. Legendary profile pic. I meant draft better than the Raiders. I can tell you got knowledge. That's why I'm here. Appreciate you, Aaron. Appreciate you. Facts, it was so bad from '03 to '08, like shitty bad. Bro, the Donkeys better not get right tackle Lyle Collins. Nah, bro. We need to get that. We need to do that. I was 7 when I went to my first Raider game after the Super Bowl. Kerry Collins. We lost 30-3. Shit. Raider, Raiders' last Super Bowl win was January 22, 1984. I was born January 23, 1984. Damn. Hey man, you still got to be alive when all the fun and praise is going on, you feel me? So don't be too mad about it. We ain't trading Carr to an AFC team. Who knows? Who knows? I don't think he gets traded though at all. Um, don't worry, win. We will win Mac a Super Bowl. Y'all not winning shit. Fucking Hunnits, man. Um, Let me ask you this, Hunnits. Who who do you guys as a Charger fan base when you guys face the Raiders and be honest, don't be on some fuck shit. Who do you guys feel like gives you guys the toughest time when you guys play the when the Chargers play the Raiders? Who do you feel like the Raiders gives you guys the toughest time? Why aren't we fighting for Lyle Collins right now? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the Raiders feel like they can get him on a better deal. But who knows? Who knows? I'm 28. We've been rebuilding since I was born. Damn. Fletcher Cox, you see him. She is bringing him in. Apparently, we were pretty close. Um, apparently, like we were also one of the teams that actually offered something for him. So I'm not sure. It was a different coaching staff, different group of people that were calling up the Philadelphia Eagles. But maybe big time says I remember the just win one baby days. Yo, hey, I was still around, bro. I was still around, bro. I remember the 10 a.m. games before church when we had to go to church at 12. That's when I witnessed Terrell Pryor break off a 99-yard run against the fucking Steelers. That shit right there had me pumped. I was watching that highlight over and over and over and over and over again. Shout out to Marshawn Lynch. Yeah, shout out to my guy Marshawn. I wanted Crabtree in that draft. Al took Darius Hayward Bay. Shit. Shit. That's tough. Hey man, at least he was fast, right, EC? At least he was fast. Um, Look, man, I'm trying to think. What else should we do? What else should we do right now? What y'all in the mood for, man? Let me see if any news has been stirring up within the nation. Okay, it's not really much going on right now. Let's see. Quick pop in for our Raiders. Dun dun dun. McFadden was my favorite player. My favorite player was fucking Rodney Hudson, and that motherfucker got traded, bro. That shit broke my heart, man. Let's see. Hey Andy, bro, too soon, fam. Way too soon. Can't wait for free agency. Look, when free agency comes around, expect a lot of content out of me. I will be off for the entire day Monday. So Monday, if there's any breaking news, what I'm going to try and do is on Monday, while Graph is live, I'm going to try and be with Graph as much as possible on his channel. If the Raiders make some moves, I'm gonna pop off, make a video, upload it, and then I'll go back. So that's the plan for Monday. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I won't be home though for when the actual free agency period opens up on the 16th. But yeah, I'll be home for when the tampering period, and I mean, a lot of shit gets done during the tampering period. My man Farrell says, "Damn, Andy, you're a Gruden grinder." Yeah, on some real shit. No one. He said, "Nah, I'm trolling." But probably honestly, Jacobs, Waller, and Crosby, and that little fucking white boy Renfro. Renfro is a baller, man. In my opinion, man, Renfro probably my favorite player on this team. Renfro is my favorite player on this team, bro. Another guy who just embodies and embraces what being a true Raider is. That's probably my favorite player on this team, bro. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Probably my favorite player on this team. Toughest white boy in the league. Yeah, you want to give honestly I can't discredit TJ Watt like that, man. TJ Watt a beast. Renfro needs to get signed ASAP. I definitely feel like Renfro should be next in line. Like, knock, knock, it's my turn. Can I get my extension? I think that he should get his extension very, very soon, in my opinion. I really hope that the talks about an extension for Renfro open up, because I feel like if Renfro gets an extension, I feel like that would also move the needle on Derek Carr's extension. That makes sense? That's what I feel. But look, y'all, we still got over 170 you guys in here. Please, if you are new, there's a lot of Raider content that we are going to be covering on this channel. There's a lot of Raider content coming in the near future. So check it out. Support your boy. Hit that subscribe button. Get me to 4,000 subscribers, man. I've been trying to get there for some time now. It's a goal that I'm very, very close to hitting, and I can't appreciate you guys more. But look, we've been on here for a little bit under 2 hours, an hour 45. I'm going to head off. I'm going to take off for the night. Tomorrow, I get off work a little bit early. I'll probably be on from anywhere from 5:30 to 5:45 West Coast time. So tune in for that. We'll definitely do something around that time, especially if there's more breaking news. If there is something huge, expect a video from me in my car at work, because that's how we get down, man. We go on a bathroom break. We throw on the camera. We go in the car. Boom, 6 minutes, bang it out, go back to work. That's how we do it here, bro. But look, like I said, you guys, please, if you're new, hit that subscribe button, y'all. I would really greatly appreciate you guys more than I already do, man. I already love you guys with a great deal of heart, man. I love you guys a lot, man. But look, I always say this when I end off my lives. Take care, stay safe, enjoy the weekend, take care with your family. But I'm out, you guys. Love y'all, nation.